We're coming to the end of the academic year now. So if you could just maybe tell us about some of the students you've worked with and some of the results that you've helped them achieve.
Yeah, so one of my first students was a young man called Mohammed, and he attended Bellaby's College in Southeast London, and he was trying to get up to kind of like a pre-A-level sort of standard. So he was doing some foundation courses in maths and economics that I was helping him with, and it was quite kind of empowering and nice to see him grow from week on week and to see how much benefit he got from the lessons as well, because it was kind of like starting from scratch and a clean slate, and it was nice to build up those skills. And then most recently, my students who attend South Bank International, Annalise's children, I've tutored them going into my third year now. It'll be my third year this September. And the youngest boy I helped tutor for the entrance exams for Sevenoaks School, which is quite a prestigious, well-known public school. And he got in, and the family were really chuffed. It was I got a lot of personal satisfaction from seeing how happy they were with his progress, and I think that's what it comes down to. It was the results that he achieved. It wasn't my results. It was the results that he achieved to get in, to do so well and get into that school.
Yeah, I still remember when I got the call from the family saying how happy they were. So much hard work has been put into it. So much time has been invested, and just to have that satisfaction of knowing that it's been a success, made everything worthwhile. So massive congratulations to you all. What's been your experience, David, working with students online, and why do you think that some students initially are a bit unsure about online tutoring?
I mean, the experience I've had doing online tuition has been largely positive. I think I probably shared the same initial apprehension that some parents might have. Is it going to be the same as kind of like an in-person one-to-one lesson? Is that going to be that kind of level of engagement? And I feel that the nature, the whiteboard is very interactive. There's a video link. There's lots of tools available online as well, so you can draw shapes, copy and paste pictures, web links, etc. So I actually feel that it's more interactive, if you like, than a one-on-one lesson. So I've had a largely positive experience. There's a lot more flexibility as well. I mean, I work full time, and commuting after a day at work to go to a family, it can be quite challenging and tiring on me as well. So if I've got the scope to do online lessons, I can maintain that teaching time and that kind of contact time with pupils without kind of being a detriment to their progress. I'm actually going abroad next month to do my master's degree as well, and my students that I'm teaching at the moment, so Annalise's children who go to South Bank, she's still keen to maintain lessons online as well. So I think it just kind of is testament to how successful and beneficial it is. I think it's just for me, it's the flexibility first and foremost, and I find that it's really flexible for the kind of parents and the students as well. So it's mutual benefit.
I completely agree. I think that anyone that has actually tried the online whiteboard has seen how it's actually been built specifically to deliver online tuition, and actually they're constantly making innovative changes to be able to adapt to what some of the feedback that we provide. So for example, students can actually even send a copy of their homework handwritten, and we could just slide it into the whiteboard just like that and then start editing. So it's really simple. You always write such detailed lesson reports, David. Why do you think that it's so important to do so?
I think first and foremost, parents want to see that their children are getting value from the lessons, and I don't think that writing kind of anemic or kind of very short reports gives the impression that their sons and daughters are getting value. So I think it's nice for the parents to, because people who lead such busy lives And it's one of those things where if I've written a detailed report, they could read that on their commute to work in the morning, for example. So they're still constantly kept in the loop about how their children are progressing. It's I think accountability, it comes a lot into it as well. It's making sure that I'm accountable, and also that the pupils that I'm tutoring are accountable for the work that they're doing as well. And I just think it's nice to see week on week. You get I think for that parents would get the impression from the reports that I write of how much progress that their children are making as well. So yeah, I mean, I'll continue to write detailed lesson reports. I just think it's a given. Yeah.
I think that something tangible for parents to actually hold and see visually, it adds so much value, as opposed to sometimes just, think words that get lost in conversation sometimes. And I think that the parents we usually work with, they're quite busy. They lead quite busy lives, and just having something that they can check in, any time, really helps maintain that level of quality that we're after all the time. What would you say are the key fundamentals of successfully helping the students prepare for the 11 plus exams?
I think for the 11 plus, it's down to making sure that the lessons are student led. So I won't go into a lesson and say, okay, because with the 11 plus, the exams, there's no syllabus. You can't necessarily teach someone specific content for the exam. What you can do is train their brain and build up their skills. And I think the best way of doing that is asking them what they struggle most with and what they would like most help with. And I think that's one of the fundamentals, is just making sure that lessons are student led and just listening to students.
Yeah, I completely agree, David. I think a lot of 11 plus papers now, apparently they're trying to make it tutor proof, so to speak. But yeah. I think we would agree that there's no kind of such thing as tutor proof, because ultimately your brain, you can train it to adapt. And that's exactly what you've done. Obviously, had a great success with all your students. And I agree, there's no real syllabus, so there's nothing really to refer to. And it's our job to really kind of condense that in a manner that is in adherence to what the exam's going to be, and also according to their learning style as well. So that's great insight. Why do you think that regular accountability and what students do outside of the lesson is important, in addition to your one-to-one lessons?
For me, maths is a very cumulative subject. So maths builds on more maths. I physically can't introduce my students to a new topic if they've not got the tools and the skills acquired from learning another topic. So maths builds upon more maths. So it's important that maths lessons it's not just an hour with David, my tutor, and then I can chill for the rest of the week and go material that we've learned. It has to, maths, like I said, it builds on more maths, and you have to kind of maintain, in order to be able to unlock new topics that I want to be able to teach them. They need to know, they need to kind of have like a base skill set first. So yeah, I think that is it. You kind of have to train your brain and keep it up outside of lessons as well.
Definitely, David. I think with maths, if you just do kind of 1 hour a week, that's less than 1% of your entire week. So the question needs to be asked is what are they doing outside of the lessons? Are they actually revising? Are they actually referring back to some of the notes? Are they active? Revision should be active. And so your role as the tutor also, you've been great guidance, especially through the lesson reports, as to what they can also do outside as well. And David, you attended a really reputable secondary school and university, obviously graduating with economics, a degree in economics at LSE, the best university for economics. Do you have any tips on how to be successful in such applications?
I think just the one thing for me is just to be bold and daring, and don't set your sights too low. If you think something, people should be aspirational, and if you really want to go for something but you're not sure you'll get it, just go for it, because at the end of the day, rejection can only be seen as a positive thing. The worst case scenario is if you don't get into your preferred school, if you don't get into your preferred uni, that's okay. Failure happens. I didn't get into Cambridge. I got rejected from Cambridge, but my teachers at sixth form trained me and did so much preparation, tried to kind of really tutor me up, as it were, to be successful in getting into Cambridge, and I didn't. And they said that I shouldn't apply to LSE because it's fiercely competitive, and the chances of getting into LSE were much slimmer. And it just so happened that I got into LSE and I didn't get into Cambridge. But I was just bold and daring, and I just think rejection shapes you as a person as well. I've had that attitude when I go into exams. I just think, you know, if I fail this, if I don't do as well as I'd like, it's not the end of the world. And you can't worry yourself so much to the point where it will be a detriment to your academic achievement. And having that kind of mindset going into exams and applying for unis and jobs, it's helped me, not hindered me.
Yeah, you also mentioned your teacher didn't really believe in you and actually advised you not to apply for LSE. And had you followed his advice, what do you think that the outcome of that would be now?
I probably wouldn't have gone to as reputable as a university. I still would have gone to university. I'm a believer in that. If a student wants to do well, if I wanted to do well, I'd be successful whatever I did. But yeah, I'm just glad I didn't take his advice. I think it is so important. I mean, from my personal experience, not to let other people choose your path. You just choose your own path. So I think parents should be nurturing that, and I think that's what's great about. Going back to my student who I choose to get into Sevenoaks School, it was aspirational, but I didn't think it was beyond the realms of possibility, and it goes to show it wasn't. He put in the hard work and he got in. So yeah, I just think you shouldn't set the bar too low, and you should always aim high.
Yeah, I think sometimes students, they need to borrow the tutor's belief, and so if your belief as a tutor is strong, then they're going to have a strong outcome as well. So massive well done to you, David, on all the achievements you've had, and it's been a genuine pleasure working with you so far. I'm really looking forward to continuing to get some excellent results together, David.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for your hard work.
You're welcome. Thank you.